Pick Six brought to you by BetMGM. Place your moneyline prop parlay and same game parlay bets at BetMGM. Download the app today. And as always, please gamble responsibly. Again, each week we're going to pick 6 games against the spread. Mark over there, he's got his deuce dog of the week. One of his picks will be the underdog that he thinks will outright win. Reminder to everyone listening, these lines are current as of Tuesday, so obviously they can change. Let's start with the big one in the big house. Texas is a 7.5-point favorite, Coach, at Michigan. The line opened at 3.5. 3.5, so a 4-point movement now to 7.5.
There's 4 rosters right now that look different to me as the season progresses, and we're diving into it. It's Georgia, Ohio State, Alabama, and of course Texas. It's just 5-star athletes basically every position. They utilize a portal. You know, the Wolverines lost 18 to 22 starters. We're going to be there. Big Noon is going to be there. It's a 3-hour show. We got my friend Charles Woodson. We got everybody going. The Wolverines got a real dilemma at quarterback. And we're going to talk about that on Big Noon, and that is, do you go 1 system or 2 quarterback system? A lot of risk, but a lot of risk in going with 1 if you don't think he's the guy. So I like Texas to cover the spread. I think it'll be an absolute street fight early in the game just because of the atmosphere, because of, you're playing in Ann Arbor. And the Wolverines. The Wolverines defense is legit, but I think at the end of the day that the Wolverines will not be able to have enough offense to slow down, to get Texas off the field, and Texas will be on the field far too long.
All right, we're going to pivot to Mark. Arkansas at Oklahoma State. In Stillwater, the Cowboys favored by 7.5, and Mark, 60% of all the bets, though, are on the road team, Arkansas.
Ooh. Hey, and I think 60% of the bets are on the road team because of their quarterback, Taylon Green. He is a beast, 6'6", 230 pounds. He could throw it, he could run it. He will be a problem for this Oklahoma State team. But going to Oklahoma State, they have one of my favorite players in the country, in Ollie Gordon, the running back. I think he'll be the difference in this game. I think he is a bona fide top pick for a running back coming out in the next NFL draft. He's the real deal, man. If you want to see some great talent from the running back position, go watch Oklahoma State and watch Ollie Gordon III. Ollie Gordon II, just like your boy Mark Ingram II. But no, he's special. And I got Oklahoma State at home in a close one versus Arkansas.
All right, Arkansas pounded Arkansas Little Bluff over the weekend. It is Cy-Hawk Trophy time, guys. Iowa State at Iowa, and the home team, the Hawkeyes, favored by 2.5. How poor was the offense in Iowa last year? Well, it was 234.6 yards per game poor. That is dead last nationally. 7 times Iowa had 15 points or less. 3 times they were shut out, including their last 2 games of the season. In comes a new offensive coordinator, Tim Lester, and according to my sources, they are currently building a statue for him in downtown Iowa City because Saturday, against FCF side Illinois State, it was their best offensive day, guys, in nearly 5 full years. Iowa, 492 yards of offense, 40 points. Cade McNamara, coming off that injury, was rusty in the beginning, finished with 251 and 3 touchdowns. Iowa, they've dominated this series of late. They've won 8 of the last 10. It is typically a tight one, though. The last 6 meetings have been decided by 10 or fewer. But right now, I am a Hawkeye believer. I am believing in the Iowa offense. It only takes 1 game to win me over. They're at home, and I see Iowa covering. Kansas at Illinois, and the Jayhawks, 5.5-point favorite. Saturday night, that one live on FS1, a little Big 10, Big 12 showdown. Last year in Lawrence, the Jayhawks, they won by 11. Courtesy, guys, speaking of offense, 539 yards of Kansas offense. Both of these teams won in week 1 by 45 points. The Illini, Brett Bielema company, I think they're rapidly improving. They're a better team than they were the last couple years, but they can still be a little hit and miss on D, a little hit and miss at quarterback. For Kansas, though, how about the job Lance Leipold and his staff are doing right there in Lawrence? I don't think it's getting enough attention. I don't think they're getting enough credit nationally. 84% of all the bets are on Kansas. The ranked Jayhawks, I love saying that, the ranked Kansas Jayhawks continue their rise up the rankings. They get the win, and they get the cover.
Kansas is a football school.
They're more than just hoops, baby. More than just hoops. Tennessee at NC State. 70% of the money, Coach, is on the Vols, who are favored in Raleigh by 7.5.
Real quick, NC State, a really good coach, Doran, and a very tough place to play. However, I went back and watched Tennessee, and they have a quarterback that I called Matt Leinart and Brady Quinn this morning after watching this thing. His name's Nico Iamaleava.
Call him Nico.
That's the old Polynesian background I have.
The old
from Utah.
Polynesian and you coming out.
I'm telling you this now, Mark, and I watched the whole, and it's Tennessee Chattanooga, so they were overmatched, the opponent they play. I mean, they were so much better. But this guy, as far as a body type, to stand there athletically and throw the ball came out like a missile. He was a 5-star product coming out of high school. I asked this question, is he a top 10 pick in the NFL draft to Brady and Matt? They obviously he's got another year left. This guy is unbelievable, Mark. I can't believe, I know they had Joe Milton, I believe, last year, but This guy is a monster.
Nico.
Because of him, I'm putting them to cover the spread, and I think they'll be a playoff team because of this guy. That's how, on one,
Coach.
I know it's Chattanooga. This guy's go check him out, Mark.
Coach, I checked him out. Didn't they pay him $12 million out of high school?
Is that right?
They paid him like $5 million out of high school, something like that.
As far as a ball coming out of a guy's hand, Mark, it's beautiful. I'm going to show it on the Big Noon.
I don't know what the number is, Coach, but he got some millions coming out of high school.
Wow.
So I got my son doing 3, 5, and 7-step drops right now.
Yeah.
You got enough cash, Mark. You're going to be all right for generations.
I played running back, Rob. You know they treat us like the redheaded stepchild. Come on.
Mark, last game, Colorado at Nebraska. This is a really
I want to hear this one.
It's
Big
a tricky
12
one.
versus Big 10. Is Nebraska really back? What is Colorado year 2 under Prime? Nebraska, 7.5-point favorite in Lincoln.
Nebraska, 7.5-point faves. Shout out to BetMGM. No, but Nebraska is much improved, man. Dylan Raiola, the quarterback, he is a guy. He's a gunslinger, and he looks like a little mini Mahomes. Like they look like doppelgangers or something. He got the whole fro hawk, light skin, kind of sidearm throw. The defense is nice, but Colorado, I'm just telling you, I just can't go against Prime. Shadur Sanders, Jimmy Horn Jr., Travis Hunter. If this defense can find a way to get a couple stops, just a couple stops, I like Colorado in a shootout. So, -7.5, Colorado, I'm taking the Buffs. Buffs. And that's your deuce.
Boy, I hope we go back there, man.
Well, Coach, to your point, Big Noon will be back in Boulder if Coach Prime can get this window. I see you, Mark. If they can get this win on the road, I think the volume starts turning up a little bit. It's not there at 10 yet, but it starts. The chatter returns. All right, so those are our picks.